afternoon. Not good morning, good afternoon. Clay Morris on the Amazing Grace Sports Network, and I will be joined shortly by the one and only Erick James, our NBA analysis. Actually, he was here, and due to the machinations of video conferencing, I disconnected him. Now, he's probably thinking that I disconnected him because I just want to talk by myself, but that's not true, Eric. Actually, I made a mistake, and I'll be the first to admit it. He's actually texting me right now, asking me what's happened, and I don't think that's the question right now, Eric. The question is, how soon are you going to get here? Come back. Okay, so it's the NBA on Amazing Grace Sports Network. We talk about everything that's pertinent in the NBA, especially in the Eastern Conference on Tuesdays. And as soon as I learn how to spell back, I'll be back with you. Usually we talk about the games that happened the night before, who won, who could have won, and who didn't win, who lost. And then we talk about the standings. This being Tuesday, we talk about the Eastern Conference NBA standings, and there is a new team on top in the Eastern Conference. A new team, and you know this team well. You're gonna be surprised, but we'll save that for last. All right, let me see what we can do here. You know, I'm going to probably gonna have to send him a new link. That's what I'm going to do, because I want to make sure this gets done right. So the one way to do it, and that's right. Let's hit it. There we go. Bada boom. Yes, sir. There we go. Whew. Okay, now I want you to know that if you guys are in a cold part of the country, I don't know if you can see those palm trees out there and that blue sky and the palm trees and more blue sky and the wind. It's just gently tickling my pate up here. Yes, that wind is just blowing through my, I would say hair, but it's not. It's blowing through my head. But then again, isn't that song? Summer breeze makes me feel fine. Blowing through the jasmine of my mind. Do, 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 do. So I guess it can blow through my mind, not just my head. And here we go. We're back. We're back again. Let me get him up on the stream. Here he is.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
It's afternoon, it's morning, and it's night somewhere. Wherever you are, here we are. That's all you need to know. So, since you're late,
really?
Yeah,
Can't be late retired, man.
You can never be late. You're right, because it's always right on time somewhere, no matter how you look at it. We're going to start off with Toronto and Detroit, because where is Detroit these days? I mean, we know where Detroit is, but how are they doing? Detroit. What is Detroit's record?
Detroit is.
I don't even see them. Are they? They're at the bottom.
They're 3-12.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Hey, word to all you bettors out there, and I'm hoping you're not betting. Don't bet on Detroit unless you're betting for them to lose. Bet on the other team. That looks to be a sure bet. Out of 15 games, they've won 3. They have a losing streak of 4, which means that they like to keep it going. I guess we should wonder who won that game.
Or who didn't win that game.
Well, yeah, we have to wonder who didn't win that game. Give us a rundown on what happened in that game and why.
We don't know. We'll start with Toronto. Toronto high score was Batten. He had 27 points. Porter, 12 points. Anunoby, 37. Strike that. Porter, 12 minutes and 0 points. Wow. Anunoby, 37 minutes and 19 points. Bames, 34 minutes and 8 points. Then their bench, Butcher came in. He did 20 points for 31 minutes. And it goes on and on. Kuloko, he did 17 minutes, 8 points. And it kind of went downhill there. Flynn, he hit 12 points in 15 minutes. They played a lot of minutes. They didn't hit a lot of points.
Now, they're doing all this without their main guy, Pascal Siakam. He went out injured a couple. Yeah, Siakam. He went out injured about. See how many days ago? Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. So they're actually winning without Siakam.
Yeah, but they played Detroit, and Detroit, Bagley hit 16 points. Don't make me mess his name up. Bogdanovic, 18. Bogdanovic. Stewart, 9 points. Ivy, 21 points. All right.
Yeah, well, he shot the ball more than anybody else.
Hey. He had 4 rebounds and 8 assists, so he did all right. I like guys that got assists.
Yeah, he's all over the court. He's 1 for 5 from 3-point land, though. He's all over the court. He's all over the place. You got to give him A for energy.
Hey.
I always like these plus minus things. Now, there's a guy on this guy named, his last name is Bay. And in the plus minus, he's a minus 10.
Wow.
Seeing as that they lost by just 4, if he never played, they had a chance to win. He's a minus 10.
Wow.
Then he lost by 4. You got to love these stats. How these guys get paid, stats. All right, well, we did Toronto. Let's move on. Who else do you want to do next? We got Toronto out the way there.
Charlotte and Orlando.
Oh, my gosh, Charlotte. Now they finally won a game.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Jordan, back in the win column.
Hey, they trying to pull it up.
Let me see. Let me look at Charlotte again. Charlotte. We did the Detroit Pistons, and Detroit is number 15 in the Eastern Conference out of 15 teams. And guess where the Charlotte Hornets are?
Hey, they 4-11. They got 1 game better.
You're right. They're number 14 out of 15 games, out of 15 teams. They're the 14th worst in the league, right? On top of the Detroit Pistons. Well, at least we know where they started from. have a feeling we know where they're going to finish too. But it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game.
But when you look at their stats, though, everybody's averaging between 14 and 8 and 16 points, 14 and 17 points. Their whole bench, 14 and 17. So at least they're level. Nobody's doing better than anybody. They're passing the ball. Let me see what their assists are. They got 5-9. They're passing the ball, so they're doing some basic stuff right. They just need to score a little bit more, play a little more defense. Probably the defense is killing them.
Yeah. And really surprising that you're right. And nobody took more than 19 shots on the whole team. Even I don't know if it's Lonzo, Lorenzo, LaMelo Ball. There's a couple of balls there, but he's the guy shooting the ball the most at 19.
Yeah.
So they're doing a good job of spreading the ball around and not being ball hogs. They're not being Kobe about it.
It must be the defense then.
Somebody's got to step up on that team. As usual, you're only going to do as your stars do. And it's great to have a middle-of-the-pack team that's all shooting correctly, but you need a guy to step out who can actually make his shots. And the guy is supposed to be LaMelo Ball, but he shot 6 for 19, which means he only made 1/3 of his shots.
Yeah.
And that usually seals the deal for the rest of the team. They go like the stars. If your star is the guy that's pouring it in and getting it done, you can expect the other guys to follow. But if he's not getting it done, then they generally do the same thing that he's doing. 6 for 19, 4 from 15 at the 3-point line. So he took 19 shots, 15 of them were 3-point shots, and he only made 4 of them. Wow. We can see where the problem is right there.
Yeah. they might need to shake that bunch up. Maybe Kyrie should go down there.
Well, it looks like they need a point guard.
What? Somebody to lead the pack.
Somebody who can get everyone going. That would be Kyrie, some way, fashion, form, or shape. He's gonna get people going somewhere. He'll give it to Kyrie, though. I mean, I'm not a great fan of Kyrie, but you got to give it to Kyrie. It takes, who can just step out and just do the things, has the guts that he has. I mean, from even before COVID, and I'm very, negative about, he's pissed off every fan base he's ever played for. And he seems to enjoy doing that, just, whatever. But still, this guy has the balls of a gigantic saber-toothed tiger, lion, something. Yeah, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't. None of the things that he'll step out on a ledge, whether he's right or wrong, it still takes a lot to do it.
Hey, well, he's a good ball player, and he's a good ledge walker.
Yeah, he's a good ball player, and we'll leave it at that. And see, and this is what happens when you have mature men discussing the situation. We know what we think, we know how we feel, but we want to make it so that everyone has an understanding that no matter what you think about a person, he's generally not the worst guy in the world. It's just his opinion and his views, his choices. And Kyrie's, I admire Kyrie in some ways, actually, truthfully. Moving on.
We had Oklahoma and Celtics.
Oh no, let's say that for last because we're gonna give everybody a treat with that one.
All right. So where we at? Phoenix and Miami.
Phoenix and Miami. Now this was a good one because Phoenix was coming back, and Devin Booker went to jam the ball for the go ahead, and Jimmy Butler.
He jammed the ball into Jimmy Butler's hand.
You can say that, but his hand had to be there.
He wanted a foul, though. He said it was a foul.
And Jimmy Butler is Kyrie Irving without the controversy.
Yeah,
because he's got balls a mile long too. I'm not too sure what the guy's thinking at the time, but as a ball player, he's off the chain.
Yeah.
Miami's 7-7 now. They were at the bottom of the pack, but they're bringing it up. We all knew they were going to be there at the end. I just didn't know if they were going to pull it together this fast. Again, like you talked about, Adebayo had 30 points, but he did it on 18. He was 9 for 18, which is he made half the shots he shot, which is best case scenario. That's what you want. You want a guy who's making at least half his shots. But nobody else after him shot more than 14.
Unlike Lowry, with 5 for 14, huh?
Yeah, Lowry. Lowry's kind of
7. Lowry makes 7. 7-14.
Yeah, that would be nice if he would get his butt off the ground and not look to hit the ground, whether he's shooting or not shooting. He might be able to get a better beat on the basket, but that's just my opinion. Adebayo is good though. I like, and they can get a lot out of Matt Struss because he's not a high volume shooter, but he can hit the three. Jimmy Butler, 5 for 12, 1 for 2. Is a guy who judiciously judged whether he was making it from the 3-point line. He must have made one and missed one and said, "That's enough for me." And then just came in and started getting his points by taking the ball to the hoop. He went to the foul line 5 times. Adebayo went to the foul line 4. He had 14 free throws. I don't think he went to the foul line 14 times, but he had 14 free throws. But he's a hit or miss player. Sometimes he looks really good. He's inconsistent. I don't think he's found whether he's, is he a number 2 or number 3 guy? Cool. And I think that's what's really holding him back. Whether he knows that he's going to be the number 2 option or the number 3 option, because we know Jimmy Butler's going to be the number 1 option. And if he knows he's going to be the number 2 option, then like Jaylen Brown, he's going to step up and start getting you 20 to 30 a night. But if he doesn't know, if you got him in between the number 2 and the 3 and the 4, if he's not expected to go out there and get a certain amount of points each night, you're going to get an inconsistent Bam Adebayo. That's what I think is holding him back.
I concur.
Yeah, I think a pecking order has to be established there so he can step up. On the other side, Devin Booker had 25, 11 for 22. That's great shooting.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton, 8 for 10. That's even better. And where's that guy we were talking about? The little general.
Oh, he's injured.
Is he injured again?
Yep.
Chris
Hey,
Paul.
he's at the bottom.
That's what happens when you get old. I wouldn't know anything about that. We do have the Warriors and the Spurs to talk about. And this one was a laugher. Apparently, the Spurs aren't doing too well. Actually, they're not doing bad. They're 6-8. But then again, the Warriors are 6-8. It's still early in the season, but the Warriors blew them out 132-95.
Yeah.
132-95. That's 37 points. And I bet you they let them come back in the end. So they probably had them by 40.
They blew him out so they can put Wiseman in.
Well, Wiseman, he's a third string center. I don't think they're really working too hard to see anything done with him. They sent him to the G League afterwards.
But he played last
24 minutes, had 17 points.
Yeah.
He was a plus 26. When he was on the floor, that's when they won. Only Jordan Poole had a bigger plus minus with a plus 33. And Jordan Poole had 36 points. I think Jordan Poole is going to be the next tandem as Clay Thompson. Was he out injured? I don't see that he played.
Who? Clay? Clay was out injured.
All right, well, Jordan Poole is picking up the slack. So he's making it happen. The only question is whether the Warriors can hold it together for another year, stay somewhat injury-free.
They're kind of old.
Yeah. And speaking of which, we kind of know what happens when you get older. Your body aches. You don't recover as much. That thing that you pulled last week on Wednesday is still with you on Tuesday of the next week. That thing that you pulled in maybe your left or right hip, it makes it harder to come back. But I think Golden State's going to be at the end. They still have Andrew Wiggins. He's fairly young. They got that mugger, Draymond Green. Kevin Looney's a good
player.
Old.
He's getting old. Draymond's
it just makes him more of a mugger. You know, as they get older, they get even worse. If they were mugging you when they were in their 20s, they're really stepping on you when they're in their 30s. Yeah. Push you a little bit harder. Steph Curry, he was only 5 for 11. He didn't even shoot that much. Great job by him. You got to know when you have it and when you don't. Now, I want to move on to the Clippers and the Rockets. Because I would ask, which Morris is on the Clippers? Is it Markieff or Marcus?
I think it's Clay.
It's not me. They don't want a 60-year-old out there. These guys are old enough.
Oh, man.
Morris on Clippers. And none of these guys are my sons. That's why I'm still working. But anyway. It's Marcus. Marcus Morris is on the Clippers.
I forgot we had Marcus. We had Morris on the Celtics for a minute.
It was. I don't know which one. Was it Marcus or Markieff?
Markieff, I think.
You can't tell them apart. They look the same.
Identical
now,
twins.
The Clippers are doing fairly well. 8-6. 8-6, they're in the pack. And the Rockets are 2-12. 122-106. The Clippers beat the Rockets. High score was Paul George with 22. Marcus Morris had 15. That's why I was wondering. How's this guy getting 15 points? No wonder. They're playing the Houston Rockets. Eric Gordon, is he still around? Oh, yeah. Jay Green. Porter Jr. had 20 for the Rockets. The Rockets are just a hot mess.
Yeah.
At 2-12 and 1-3 at home, losing 122 to 106 at home. Even Nicholas Batum, who's been around for a period of time, got in with 10 points. It's just everybody should want to go play against the Rockets. You can pad your stats. That's a game where you're gonna look good. And then we got another game. We have the Atlanta Hawks travel to Milwaukee to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. And
they won. Ding, ding, ding,
they
ding.
won. You took Milwaukee in 10 points. Guess what? You lost. But I think you took Milwaukee and you got points. And guess what? You still lost. No, bro. If you took Atlanta, no matter how you look at it, you won. And let's see what happened. Trae Young had 21 points, 7 for 19. He's a high volume guy. But Clint Capella, I love this guy, Clint Capella. He used to be with Houston. Now that he's gone, Houston really is biting the dust. He made 9 out of 11. When the guy takes 11 shots and makes 9 of it, he's your guy. Looks like he held them together. There's another guy, Derek Hunter, I think 24. And somehow they gutted it out because nobody really scored in big figures. But they won the game. And on the other side, Giannis led with 27. Brook Lopez, the biggest outside shooter in the NBA, had 12. Carter had 12. I see our guy, Bobby Portis, came off the bench for 14. Chris Middleton still isn't back yet. And that's got to be hurting them because they could really use what he's giving them.
He didn't play much last year either.
He got hurt, I think, in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then
trying to come.
He never made it back. And they're really hurting. They're really hurting without Chris Middleton because he's a 20-plus guy.
Yeah.
He's a 20-plus guy. He's going to get you, up to 10 rebounds, 10 to 12 rebounds a game, 20 point, 16 to 20, 16 to 30 points a game, night after night. I think that's the hard part. People don't realize how hard it is to score like this night after night and play some defense. Gee whiz. My hats go off to him. And now, last but not least, our marquee game of the night. I'll let you introduce it because since you're wearing the hat that says B on it, which means Boston, what are we talking about here?
Boston Celtics and Oklahoma.
The Boston Celtics are the new team on top of the NBA Eastern Conference.
With the Billy Bad point guard, Marcus Smart.
Oh my gosh. Don't get you and my son and Marcus Smart are gonna, I'm gonna grow hair because you guys are making me just so with Marcus Smart. Marcus. Oh, anyway. Let's not belabor the point. Marcus Smart and the Boston Celtics are in first place in the Eastern Conference in the NBA. And Marcus had a pretty good night last night. 22 points on 8 for 12 shooting. I can't, there's no way I can criticize him.
And 8 assists. Come on now.
And 8 assists. He had 8 assists. He went 8 for 12, which is phenomenal. He only took 12 shots and he made 8 of them. It's phenomenal. And at 22 points, efficient, effective. What can you say? He was even 1 for 5 from no, actually, what was he? From the 3-point line?
1 for 2.
1 for 2. Was it 1 for 2?
He knew when to stop.
Unbelievable. Marcus stepped off. You know what? I can just, I'm going to hit the lottery tomorrow. The Powerball is still, I'm going to hit the Powerball since Marcus is doing all this great stuff because you know what? Life is just good. If Marcus is going to do this, you can just mail them the trophy because it's over. It's over. That's all they need. They beat up on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they trailed most of the game.
But think about it. When Williams come back, that's going to take them to another level.
If he comes back being the same Robert Williams that he was.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because he had a injury. They rushed him back, and it got worse.
Yeah.
So there's no guarantees. I sure hope he comes back because if he comes back, they will. Because They can't depend on 45-year-old Al Horford. Or is he 50 now? You know, I mean, my back hurts just thinking about running up and down the court.
Oh, man.
And Al's actually doing it. Al used to not wear any knee pads. Now he has 2 knee pads on each knee. He has a knee pad and then a knee pad on top of that knee pad.
Oh, man. And you gotta keep the between the two.
You know, they can't keep doing this to Al. Al needs a break. Al, you should get Courage of the Year, because the Celtics are just working you hard, man. You're like a Zulu. You just can handle this. You're a warrior, man. A Chippewa or something. A Comanche. Yeah, so Jason Tatum had 27, but Wolf was shooting 9 for 23. That's just terrible. Thank God for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen had 26, I believe. Yeah, boom, Marcus Smart.
Yep, 26. 11 to 21. Not bad.
Yeah, that's good shooting. That's great shooting. Somebody has to offset Jason Tatum at 9 for 23. Jeez. Al Horford. Where's Al at? Al had 12 points.
Yep, 5 for 12.
5 for 12. Al, pick it up, baby. Pick it up. Now, let's discuss the Eastern Conference while we have it here in front of us. And of course, the Boston Celtics are number 1. 11 and 3. 6-1 at home, 5-2 away. Those are good numbers. 2-0 in the division, 8-3 in the conference, averaging 120 points a game, or holding the opponents to 114. Difference of 5.9. Winning streak is they've won 7. But that's not the best part. The best part is that in the last 10 games, they're 8-2. 8-2. Milwaukee's 7-3. Atlanta Hawks are 6-4, and those are the top 3. Atlanta's 10-3. You know, Boston is number 1 on the technicality that they play more games. Theoretically, if Atlanta plays tonight, Milwaukee, and they actually win, they'll be 11-3 too. But Boston's coming off a back-to-back.
Yeah.
They played the other night, so they've won 2 games in a row back-to-back, which is hard to do. But they managed to do it, and that shows the mettle of a tough team. They actually have some grit in them. But they're going to need something coming down. They need a player who's got some grit on that team, not just Marcus. They need a big guy who's got a little, something to him.
Yeah, well, we ain't got nothing for that other than, like I said, if Williams.
Well, maybe me and you, if we can morph our bodies.
That's it. All we need is 5 minutes a game.
5 minutes?
We're looking at the pitch, say.
He's saying 5 minutes, guys. I'm thinking more like 2.5. In each half. 2.5. Give me 2.5 minutes in the first half and 2.5 in the second half. I can go flat out for 2.5 minutes. And I'll do something. I'll bite someone's ankle or something, maybe,
We'll make it at least worth the while.
Yeah, we'll make it worth the while. I'll get 3 fouls in the first half in my 2.5 minutes and 3 fouls in the second half. So listen, I'm going to tell you, the leading scorer, he's going to be hurting by the end of the game with my 6 fouls by the time that I can get out there and get to him.
They won't be coming to the middle. I know that.
No, definitely not to the middle.
Oh, man.
You better shoot that 3-ball, son.
You better stay out there. Stay out there.
Stay out there, son. Listen, I do think we have to talk about the Brooklyn Nets, who are number 12. 3-4. They are 5-5. Do you see any hope for the Brooklyn Nets? Because there are some sportscasters in the national media who keep talking that the Mets are going to come back somehow, some way when Kyrie comes back. Not that they were doing well when Kyrie was there, but somehow they think when Kyrie gets back, with Ben Simmons is on that team too, right? Ben Simmons and Kyrie and Kevin Durant. something's going to happen?
Something, but they're actually 6-8.
6-8.
6-8, yeah. They're 429. They're a little bit under 500, but I mean, there is a chance. There's always a chance that they can pull it.
No. America, the Nets are dead.
No,
The Nets are dead. They're drowning in the Atlantic Ocean, rough waters. Somebody throw them a life rope, okay? That the whole team is just treading water. They ain't going nowhere. Don't expect them to be in the playoffs. Don't even think. I think what 10 teams make the playoffs. Don't expect the Nets to be one of them. Just telling you, something's going to happen. One of them's going to get hurt. We got two old guys in Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Durant's going to go out injured sometime during the year, and I know Kyrie is definitely going out injured sometime during the year. Then you got Ben Simmons to carry the team. Did you just hear me, America? Ben Simmons. You got Ben Simmons to carry the Nets. And you think that's going to happen? What are these guys talking about? There is no way this is happening, America. They have about as much of a chance of making the playoffs as the Lakers do. And that's none.
Way. Now, the Lakers at the bottom, they ain't going nowhere. They don't even want to go anywhere. They're just padding stats now. So at least the Nets are still playing. The Lakers still
right about that.
That's it. They suit up.
At least Kevin Durant is out there playing some defense, LeBron.
And they got most of their stars. So what's really the problem?
Well, it depends. If the game's going good, LeBron keeps shooting. If it's going bad, he got a bad hamstring. It's time for him to come out the game. So actually, they actually gain by subtraction. Listen, guys, if you want to talk about any of the stuff that we're talking about, leave it in the comments. Comment us. Matter of fact, we will bring you on, and you can start. If you want to defend the Nets or the Lakers or any other team you felt that we have maligned, like Detroit or Charlotte, you think we have maligned Detroit and Charlotte, and you want to get in there and tell us the good points and what we should be looking forward to and how they're going to rise to the cream of the crop in the top, we're here for you. Because we want to hear that, because that's what we're about. We're about surprise and hope stories and keeping hope alive.
Make sure you
closing. Anything you want to say? We've been on like 30 minutes. It's time for us to get off.
Make sure they subscribe. You got to subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe and leave comments. And we'll be coming to a city near you one day soon. We'll be out there. Yeah, on some street corner talking.
What's them two old guys over there talking about?
Two old guys talking sports on the street corner. Just join on in. Come on in. No, you know what? There's no cursing. There's no swearing. We haven't cursed. We haven't sworn. We're not, we keep it humorous. And this is the way that we want to present an older, a mature generation. This is fun. Sports is fun. And listen, Kyrie, you could beat me on my best day when I was in my 20s by 30 points in a game of 15. All right. So no matter what I say, don't think that I'm comparing myself to you in any type of manner. You're a great player, and I admire your courage in a lot of ways. So to everyone playing in the NBA, listen, you guys are fantastic. You're very great at what you do. And listen, keep it up. Stay healthy. That includes you, Chris Paul and LeBron James. Stay healthy and keep playing as long as you can. But when you can't play, get off the court. Stop taking up some space that some young guy could have.
Or just distribute the ball. All you got to do is distribute the ball.
Yeah, kick the ball around. And then cherry pick on the way back, right? No.
Hey, that's what Magic Johnson did in his latter years. He'll do a whole bunch of talking, but he did a whole bunch of passing, too.
And a whole lot of time. Magic was never a shooter anyway, but that's a story for another time. Listen, guys, it's been great. Clay Morris and the only Erick James for Amazing Great Sportsnet. Listen, our subscribers are growing. We're growing. Join in, leave comments, and have fun. Remember, you're the most important person in sports. Not us, not the players, you. So let's have some fun with this. Get in, leave some comments. Let's have some fun. With that, we'll sign it out. Have a good day. This is NBA Tuesday, Eastern Conference. I'm Clay Morris. This is
Erick James. Have a good one.
and we're out of here. Peace.